How rude is it when you can only find the one sock, the one matching sock on the washing rack? Secured. So guys, welcome back to the YouTube. We're gonna do a little bit of a day in the life / update today, I reckon, because we are obviously in a new house, which is amazing, and it's so nice just to have a little bit more space. So we are just kind of sussing everything out. We just have a few more bits and pieces to move from the old place, like literally just a handful of stuff. But altogether, like, we're just buzzing with the new gaff. So I don't know if I'll have to do like a house tour. I know a couple of you have asked for like an MTV Crib style video, but I just thought I'd do a little bit of an update, seeing as this is actually the last few days before I start my diet. So it's been 40 weeks now of pushing up since prep. I haven't done a diet since prep, and I'm so excited. I'm so ready for it now. I've just gotten to this place where I don't have like an appetite really anymore. I can still eat my meal. My body composition is still decent, but I do need to pull off a good bit of body fats as, I suppose, like a pre-prep diet to get me in a position where we can actually prep from. Because if I was to diet from where I currently am now, I would need to do like 35 to 40 week prep, which in an ideal world we don't want to do. So we're gonna come down over the course of maybe 10 weeks, because this should finish right before I go to Vegas. And then across that time, I'd really like to pull off a solid like 8 to 10 kilos, really, just to set me up really well. And then thing is that is the easy part. The hard part will be my reverse on the other side, because my reverse will have to be quite meticulous. Like, it will need to be nailed, because we don't really want me to be in a position where like my body fat is that much higher from when I finish my pre-prep diet, and just hold me there whilst obviously just improving across that period of time. Because I think it's going to be a good 18 weeks from when provisionally I'll be starting prep. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be hard mentally, even for myself who's done this like time and time again. Reversing out the diet is always like probably the hardest part, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm definitely ready to go to a diet, whereas like, if you'd asked me 20 weeks ago, like off the back of my prep, like I suppose at that halfway point, I would have been like absolutely not. Like, I would not have been mentally ready to diet, physically ready to diet, and to get to a point where I'm like, right, I am ready to go. That is really, really positive for me, and which I think sometimes when you go into a diet, it is important to be in the right headspace. But yeah, I will take you through the day. I'm actually going to go for my normal morning walk in a second. What I'm going to do is actually pull my steps down a little bit, because with moving and all of that, like, I am so over on my steps. I've done like 16, 17,000 every single day. And Kuba's his one job for me this week was try and keep the steps down across these 4 days that we have off training. And have I done that? Absolutely not. So I'm just going to go for a shorter walk. And then I'm going to do some work, and maybe I'll do a little bit of house tour, but it's not kind of ready yet because we've still got bits and pieces to unpack and sort. Well, I do anyways. But yeah, let's go on with the day. Also, if you do enjoy the videos, please encourage me and motivate me to keep doing them, because I know they're a little bit sparse at best. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment if there's anything you want to see. This is the new little setup with our kitchen. So as you can see, we now have an island. So it's going to be perfect for filming cooking reels. So I'm going to be forced to do them all for you now. So I'm going to have to get started some recipes, but just ignore all of that. That doesn't exist over there. We have our little kind of island here. We literally just got a microwave because we didn't actually realize that the house didn't come with a microwave. So when we got here, we were like, oh fuck, like we're so used to just having it there that we totally forgot that we even needed to get one. So that arrived yesterday. Coffee machine, sweetener obviously. We have a nice gas hob now, which I'm over the moon about, because I way prefer gas over induction, but it's just the little things like that. You know, when you're becoming adult, where you officially have an opinion on whether you have a gas stove or an induction stove. But then we have the kettle, air fryer, creamy. We actually did creamies yesterday. Mark had them for the first time. Actually did mine with whey rather than yogurt this time around, and it was amazing. Like, I think it's going to be such a diet hack for sure. But yeah, this is the new setup with kitchen, and love it, we really do. It's just a bit more space for us because otherwise we just constantly running into each other all the time in the old place. That is absolutely mega. So we are literally just on our new morning walk. We haven't actually been through this bit before, so I insisted on coming down this way. And what?
I think your arm isn't long enough to hold it, remember?
No, but I've got it on the wide angle bit. But isn't this so much better? This is like night and day. It's like, it's super quiet. There's actually like greenery. And this is like exactly what you need to see in the morning, like green things and sunlight. So yeah, we're really, really going to enjoy this. Makes a big difference of what we had before. And we do about like 20 minutes of walking in the morning. What? No, past me. What?
We're already 50 minutes in.
Oh Jesus, Mark. I literally said to them this morning that I was going to do less. Because I've done about 17,000 steps every single day. But when you're like somewhere new, you want to explore and see what the crack is. But yeah, this is just mint, and it's going to be hot as well. It's already like, must be like 22 degrees already, and it's only like 20 to 8. So I'm going to go and explore. This is taking a turn. There is actually quite a steep hill. Mark is going to struggle.
Let's go to the top.
Look, no, let's go to the top and then we'll see. Maybe there's a steep decline.
This is the steep of the one with the climb here, right?
No, this is what I mean. So Mark is dieting. He's like 5 weeks in, and I'm like 4, and I'm peak off season. So, and I still don't know if he's gonna find this a bit harder. Oh my god! Fucking hell, that's amazing though. Look at that. I want to insert a meme of that, like that heavy breathing cat. We didn't last very long. There's still that hill to go yet, and we just got. This is, so as you can see, the epitome of fitness. So walk is done. I now have meal 1 here, and something that I've had to do this push up, especially these last few weeks, is actually reduce the volume of meals, because you will often get to a point where your appetite does start to dip off, and for a lot of people that can be their limiting factor as to how long that they can actually grow and build for. So by keeping appetite in a good place, by making adjustments to your meals when you need to, that is going to allow you to prolong that push up for a little bit longer. So before, I was having cream of rice and oats for my meal 1, and I just got to a point where like I cannot eat a bowl of oats, and I cannot think of anything worse than eating cream of rice, believe it or not. So I've actually changed that meal to Weetabix with banana. So obviously banana being a little bit more carb and calorie dense than maybe other sorts of fruits. I'm then going to have in that, I actually have 5 grams of flaxseed as well. I was using like flaxseed and chia seed just because, again, it's just slightly lower volume, and it's got a lot of fibre in too. So 4 Weetabix here with 5 grams of flaxseed and 50 grams of banana. And then I have a protein shake, which I'm going to use as the milk, and that's got a little bit of almond milk. I usually do a mixture of almond milk and water for that one. And then I'm going to have a square of the 85% dark chocolate as well. So like I said, by reducing the volume in your meals, you will find them a lot easier to get down. So that could look like even using things like liquid calories, fruit juices if you need to, increasing the amount of intra-workout carbs you have, like cyclic dextrin. It could look like using more oils, for example, because obviously they're very calorie dense, and just finding food that is very palatable and easy for you to digest. That could look like for carb sources, like banana, honey, white rice, like Weetabix. Often those are going to be better options than things like potato, like even oats, as I said there, because often a lot of people do get to a point where they struggle to digest things like oats in their push-up phases. So just trying to make the meals as small and dense as possible. Even even if you need to, obviously you do want to keep veg and fruit in, but even reducing the portion sizes of your veg can really...
The treble, and the year after we got knocked out by in the champ.
Actually, I'm just going to make mine and Mark's creamy together as well. Honestly, he was like, you're going to regret this because now you're going to be doing them every day, so I can imagine that I will have to do one every day for him. I'm sure that as I get into my diet, I will appreciate them just that little bit more, but they are very, very, very good, I will say. So, 2 of the creamy tubs, I'm going to use like a shaker and just literally just mix the whey that way. For mine, I'm actually just going to make my lower volume because I made one the other day and it was great, but I genuinely thought I wasn't going to get to finish it. So I'm actually going to make mine a lot lower volume. I'm going to make it with almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, and then I'm going to add the whey to that. Whereas Mark, obviously he's dieting at the moment, he doesn't have like any almond milk in his diet, so I'm just going to do his with water. I literally just get the long life one because I don't have to then keep all the cartons of milk in the fridge because that would just take up a lot of space. And another good thing about this house at the moment is that we have so much more fridge space. Like we have a way bigger fridge than what we had before, because at the old house it was honestly a nightmare. Like obviously the 2 bodybuilders who go through like a lot of meat and a lot of food, but whenever we would do a food shop we would always be kind of like limited as to like how much we could buy or like how much we could put in the fridge and freezer because we just didn't have the room for it. So this has been a game changer for us as well. Let's just right, I'm literally just going to do 200 mils of that, and obviously I do kind of fit these into my diet. If I do make any changes like having creams, having extra almond milk, I will kind of substitute the calories and macros out for that when I decide to make any changes. Because another thing in off-season stuff, you can, even in a diet really for the most part, but you can have variety as long as you can macro match and you have the knowledge to do that. Like even in off-season, like I'm not super strict with it, to be honest. Like, I don't mind if it's a few grams out, like I know that's not going to kill me. And having that bit of freedom for me in the off-season and in a building phase allows me just to be able to switch on when I diet a little bit more so, because I feel like mentally I've had that break. Because I think for a lot of people, yeah, of course, it comes down to it physically being in a place where you can do that as well, but mentally it's really important that you've had a bit of a break too. Because the thing is I know that there are so many varying degrees of like balance and what sort of balance that you could or should have. I think there are a lot of people that might take the piss with it a little bit, but I don't think that anyone really needs to do like a building phase where they're absolutely to a T all the time if that's not what they enjoy. I think that for a lot of people they would benefit from having a little bit more flexibility. It's not to say that you just like eat off plan like every single day, but you can absolutely have variety. If you're making substitutions, does it have to be to the exact gram? No, it's not really going to kill you. As long as you're consistent with what you're having and you're still focusing on micronutrient dense foods, still focusing on like making sure you're having meals that are going to give you all the micronutrients and macronutrients that you basically need to perform really well, like as an athlete, if that's what you are, or even as a lifestyle client. You want to make sure that you have everything that you need, or your body has everything that you need for your health. But in a building phase, you can absolutely have a bit more balance. Obviously, like I said, it's not to take the piss with. I think that as a competitor, the balance you can have obviously depends a lot on the genetics that you have. Some people can get away with making excellent progress and having a lot more balance than others. Some people just do need to be a little bit more diligent with it if they want to make the sort of progress that they're after, because their genetics just won't allow them to progress at a rate that someone who's blessed with really good genetics would, if they have more balance or less balance than that person, if that makes sense. I'm actually going to put just the tiniest little bit of sweetener on mine, just a little bit. That's all. I don't need a lot. And obviously some salt, and then I'm gonna pop in a little bit of xanthan as well. Now this is just to help it thicken a little bit more. And obviously in Mark's, I won't put anything in Mark's other than his whey and water. But in mine, I don't mind getting a little bit more creative. So do this. mix that up. We're actually doing this a little bit late. To be honest, I should have done this last night when we had the other ones. But here we are. We're going to hope that they freeze in time for later, which I'm sure they will, but you never really know. This tripod will forever be the bane of my fucking existence. There's nothing worse than walking through the gym with this and then just like all the legs falling off it. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for sending through your pictures. So visually, again, a little bit better, especially around the midsection. We're noticing the body fat cool down just that little bit more. These last few days, we have seen a little bit more fluctuation, and that's okay. Look, a little bit of fluctuation is normal, but just based off of the trend across the last like week to 2 weeks, I still just want to get things moving forward just a little bit quicker. I know that you'll be ready for this as well, because right now, you've actually been, obviously you're nailing it. Like, it's not really been all that difficult. Of course, there have been times where it's challenging, but I think you're just flying through it at the minute, you're just taking it in your stride, and you definitely do have a little bit more room to push. You know what one of my biggest challenges has been the last few weeks of this push-up is whenever I need to charge my Oura ring is taking it off my finger, because now that I have fat fingers, arguably probably a little bit of water there as well, but I literally cannot get my ring off. And I have to use like washing up liquid or like moisturizer to be able to just slide it off my finger, because it's just not happening otherwise. Maybe twice a week, I'll need to do like a food shop. Generally, I'll go once with Mark because we have to go to Aldi, and then I'll also do a shop at Tesco as well, because there are a few bits that I need to get from Tesco that I can't get in Aldi because they're yogurt and smoked salmon in particular, or disgusting. So I've got the essentials here. As you can see, green beans, mushrooms, oats. I've got some unsweetened almond milk as well, and then I also have a pizza. Anyone who remembers the reverse from prep knows that I got a couple of these, and these are honestly like the best. So I was thinking that I should get one last meal in before my diet starts, and this I reckon is just going to be the meal of choice, because you just cannot go wrong with this pizza. And so I'm going to have that over the weekend. And before I went to get that shopping, we also had Chloe and Dara come over, and they bought us a couple of like housewarming presents. So we have this cute little picture here, and they also got us this little houseplant too. We love a houseplant, and yeah, we're really appreciative for those because they are unreal. Is I should crack on with some work. I've got some client work to finish off. I'm going to pack all of this away, and I'll probably show you the creamies that we make later on as well. Get these little lads out for our last meal of the day. So here she is, ready for action. I then have the two of our creamies. Obviously we actually put these in the freezer this morning. They're supposed to be for like 24 hours, but we're cutting it fine. But I think that they're pretty much frozen. Just pop them into a little bath of water just to kind of like soften the outside before I put them in here. So that is it after the first spin. What I'm actually going to do for mine now is just pour in a tiny little bit of milk. This. I'm not even sure if you can hear me, but I'm actually going to pop in 15 grams of almond butter into this while Mark's is going now. And then I'm going to put it on respin. And then this here is the final product. So you can see that it's literally so creamy. It's literally just like ice cream, but obviously a much higher in protein, micro-friendlier version. Because this is literally just almond milk and whey isolate with some xanthan gum and then some salt and a tiny little bit of sweetener with almond butter in it. And it is the best one yet. Really, really good. I would highly, highly recommend. So with that being said, I'm gonna close off this full day of not doing much here. I suppose like day in the life. And if you liked it, please do like, share, subscribe, comment if there's anything else that you would like to see. And I'll see you in the next one.